In the far reaches of a galaxy unified under the rule of the Galactic Confederation, the idea of humans has faded into legend. To most of the sentient species that now dominate interstellar space, like the bureaucratic Zentari, the warlike Dravari, or the crystalline Vorth, the word human conjures stories whispered to children. Tales of a savage, clever, and fiercely independent race that once raged across the stars before vanishing completely. The official record treats them as a myth, a convenient narrative buried under millennia of redacted files and conveniently lost archives. But archivist Vel Thorin, a Zentari historian on the academic fringe, believes differently. An obsessive scholar exiled to a dusty data vault moon, Vel spends decades compiling forbidden fragments, ancient star charts, and unexplained historical anomalies. He believes that humanity existed and was far more powerful than the Confederation will admit. His obsession is considered dangerous and unproductive by his peers, but when he discovers a corrupted archive fragment referencing Terran signal codes in a derelict space station at the edge of known space, everything changes. At the same time, Commander Lyran Kova, a pragmatic and loyal Dravari naval officer, is dispatched to investigate a series of missing Confederation scout ships near the Scorch Expanse, a region avoided for centuries due to unexplained phenomena. She's skeptical of Thorin's human theory, but is under orders to escort him as part of a scientific detachment. Kova is no academic. She's a soldier who's seen war, and she believes in concrete threats, not fairy tales. As the joint expedition team enters the Expanse, strange things begin to occur. Sensor malfunctions, inexplicable energy signatures, and brief glimpses of what appear to be stealth vessels watching them from the void. Tensions rise among the crew as fear and uncertainty grip them. Vel believes they're approaching a human presence. Kova suspects pirates or a new alien species testing Confederation defenses. Then they find it. A massive, ancient space station, embedded in a hollow asteroid. Inside are dormant machines written in an unknown but partially decodable language. Vel recognizes it immediately. Terran Standard, the dead language of the mythical humans. But the real shock comes when they activate one of the consoles, and an automated signal begins to broadcast. A distress beacon in Old Earth English, followed by coordinates deep within the Expanse. Back at Confederation headquarters, the Council receives the signal but quickly suppresses it, labeling the expedition's findings as sensor anomalies and cultural contamination. The official story is that the expedition found nothing. But Thorin and Kova know better, and as they secretly transmit their findings to trusted allies, the real mystery begins to unravel. Unbeknownst to the Confederation, the signal has reached its destination. Far beyond known space, in a dark system, surrounded by defensive satellites and cloaking fields, the message is received. Reactivation protocols engage. Long dormant ships awaken. Red lights blink on. The Terran vanguard has been summoned, and humanity is no longer in hiding. Following the shocking discovery of a Terran distress beacon in the Scorch Expanse, archivist Vel Thorin and Commander Lyran Kova find themselves at the heart of a growing mystery. Against direct orders from the Galactic Confederation Council, they make the decision to follow the coordinates embedded in the human transmission. What they find is beyond anything they imagined. The coordinates lead them to a dense region of space cloaked in electromagnetic storms, gravitational anomalies, and shattered remnants of long-dead star systems. Known in myths as the Graveway, this sector has been avoided by explorers for centuries. Navigation is nearly impossible. Communications falter. Even the most advanced Confederation ships struggle to maintain stability in the region. Pushing deeper into the Graveway, Thorin and Kova's science vessel, the RKV Horizon's Watch, detects faint power readings consistent with artificial structures. As they approach, they uncover what appears to be a dormant human space station, hidden within the remains of an asteroid field. The structure is vast, aged, and covered in unknown alloys that defy conventional scanning. It seems abandoned, but not dead. Inside, the team uncovers evidence of incredibly advanced human engineering, gravity systems far superior to modern tech, autonomous drones still maintaining basic functions, and sealed databanks that resist decryption. Despite the eerie silence, the station is not lifeless. Motion sensors occasionally pick up flickers, unseen entities moving through corridors. There are no life signs, but the crew can't shake the feeling they're being watched. Then, the impossible happens. As Thorin works to unlock one of the databanks, the station's dormant systems reactivate. Lights flicker on. Defense systems scan the crew and, recognizing their non-Terran origin, power up, but then just as suddenly stand down. A voice, synthetic and cold, speaks from overhead. Non-Terran contact confirmed. Status, observation. Relay to Vanguard Command initiated. All across the sector, ancient satellites light up, transmitting encrypted pulses into deep space. Seconds later, jump anomalies begin to form. Multiple warships emerge from hyperspace. The vessels are unlike anything in the known galaxy. Beriru, black, angular, and humming with latent power, they bear the insignia of Earth, a fractured blue sphere wrapped in iron wings. They move with precision and silence, encircling the horizon's watch without firing a shot. The Confederation crew readies for battle, but there is no attack. Instead, a single transmission comes through on all frequencies. This is the Terran Vanguard. You are trespassing in secure Terran territory. Identify yourselves. The voice is calm, deliberate, and unmistakably human. Panic ripples through the crew. Kova orders weapons on standby, but Thorin urges diplomacy. He steps forward and transmits a message in broken Terran standard, identifying their affiliation and their discovery of the ancient signal. There is a pause, then the response, "You are not enemies, but you are not trusted. You will follow us. We are returning." The human ships do not fire. They escort the Confederation vessel deeper into the graveway, toward what remains of human civilization. Unseen by all, a silent relay in the Confederation core systems activates. The humans are back and the galaxy has been warned. A tense standoff looms in the cold void of space. The Terran Vanguard, with its sleek, intimidating warships, has escorted the Confederation science vessel, Horizon's Watch, to the edge of a restricted star system. There, orbiting a red dwarf, and shrouded by stealth satellites, lies a fortified Terran installation, silent, vast, and bristling with technology far more advanced than anything the Confederation possesses. Inside the Horizon's Watch, Archivist Vel Thorin and Commander Lyran Kova attempt to navigate the surreal reality of first contact with a species thought long extinct. The humans don't attack, but they don't explain much either. A single message is relayed. You will come to neutral ground. Dialogue is necessary. A few days later, a diplomatic summit is arranged on Argelis 9, a neutral moon historically used for interspecies negotiations. There, beneath its icy surface and within a sealed atmosphere dome, delegates from the Terran Vanguard meet face-to-face with representatives of the Galactic Confederation. It's the first confirmed contact with humans in over 3,000 years. The Terran emissaries, tall, composed, and clad in minimalist black uniforms, make a startling admission. Humanity, they explain, did not vanish because of war with other species. Instead, it tore itself apart in a brutal civil conflict known only as the Sundering, triggered by ideological divides over technological advancement, AI governance, and genetic sovereignty. Fearing that their internal chaos would spread, humanity turned inward, initiating a total lockdown of Terran space and deploying disappearance protocols to wipe traces of their presence. Now, they return, not to conquer, but to observe, and, if necessary, intervene. The Terran emissaries claim the galactic order is unraveling. Rising instability, escalating interstellar tensions, and rogue AI outbreaks mirror the early signs of their own collapse millennia ago. We see history repeating, they warn. The Confederation Council is thrown into disarray. Some factions, particularly the Vorth and the diplomatic Colleen, argue that humanity's experience makes them invaluable advisors. Others, led by the Teo, militant Dravari, and the secretive Fendari, see the return of humans as an existential threat. After all, If their technology is truly as powerful as it appears, they could overthrow the balance of power in weeks. In the midst of the summit, Velthorin uncovers a long-buried truth. While digging through Terran records and comparing them to ancient Confederation archives, he discovers alarming similarities. Design patterns, reactor blueprints, and FTL algorithms supposedly invented by the Confederation centuries ago match declassified Terran schematics. The evidence is undeniable. The Confederation wasn't just inspired by humanity. It was built on plundered Terran technology, stolen in the chaos following humanity's disappearance. Thorin shares his findings with Kova, who is both disturbed and intrigued. If this information goes public, it could delegitimize the Confederation's founding myths and perhaps spark civil unrest. But it also means that much of what the Confederation believes to be cutting edge is ancient by Terran standards. The summit ends, the humans make one final statement. We are not returning to rule, but we will not let the galaxy collapse unchecked. Choose your future wisely. The galaxy stands at a crossroads, and Terra is watching. The summit on Argelis 9 ends with unresolved tension. Humanity has re-emerged not as conquerors, but as watchers, patient, prepared, and powerful. They offer no ultimatums, only warnings. The Galactic Confederation is fracturing under pressure, and the Terrans won't stand by while another collapse unfolds. They make it clear, this time they will intervene. Back at the Confederation capital world Varela Prime, reactions to the summit are volatile. The revelation that core technologies, believed for centuries to be indigenous innovations, were, in fact, reverse-engineered from abandoned Terran relics, throws the political establishment into chaos. Archivist Velthorin's findings, leaked by anonymous sources, go viral across the data networks. Protests erupt. Younger races demand answers. Older species retreat into silence, fearing the exposure of long-held lies. Behind the scenes, the ruling High Council splits into two camps. The diplomatic bloc, now gaining support from the Kaleen, Vorth, and independent systems, advocates for open alliance with the Terran vanguard. They see the return of humans as an opportunity to stabilize the galaxy through shared governance and technological exchange. But the security bloc, led by Admiral Varan Sek of the Dravari, believes that the humans represent an existential threat. They fear domination under the guise of cooperation. Tensions boil over when Admiral Sek, acting without full council authorization, orders a preemptive strike against a Terran outpost in the Graveway. A fleet of Confederation warships carrying some of the most powerful weapons known to the Council races jumps into Terran-controlled space. They never make it past the perimeter. The Terran response is immediate and surgical. Without firing a single lethal shot, they disable every attacking vessel in under 3 minutes. Precision EMP pulses, gravity well disruptors, and cyber warfare AI neutralize ship systems with mathematical efficiency. Crews are left unharmed, floating in powerless hulls utterly helpless. The message is clear. Terra has the power to destroy but chooses not to. In the aftermath, Commander Lyran Kova, now seen as a liaison figure between the two sides, delivers a speech to the Council. Urging cooperation, she reminds them that this is not a war they can win, and that it need not be a war at all. Velthorin stands with her, publicly revealing the full truth of the Confederation's origins and calling for transparency, reform, and peaceful integration. The vote that follows is historic. The Galactic Confederation, for the first time in its long and proud history, formally invites a non-member power, the Terran Vanguard, to enter as an equal partner. Terms are negotiated carefully. Sovereignty is respected. Technological exchanges are tightly controlled, and oversight committees are formed to prevent another age of myth and misinformation. In the final scenes, Terran ships land openly on Varela Prime. Children watch from rooftops. Elders weep. The humans, once legends, then ghosts, walk the halls of the Confederation. But even as peace is secured, one final warning remains. We return to stop the collapse, But if the old mistakes return, so will we. And next time we won't come in peace. The future is uncertain, but this time humanity will not vanish.